time with Nurse Shar for honest and healing conversation about the benefits, challenges, and real-life struggles of living healthy, well, fit, and free. Real discussion for real people who want real change. My Better Living. This podcast is being broadcast on Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams. You can download Power Plug Radio app on Google Play or the Apple iStore. Don't forget to subscribe to the Power Plug Radio YouTube, where you can catch My Better Living live every Tuesday night. And visit www.powerplugradio.com to find out how you can sponsor the next episode.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Welcome everybody. This is Nurse Shar, and welcome back to another episode of My Better Living. And I am here with
Latreca Ali.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you so much for this wonderful bottle of water. I am a little parched. Make sure you drink your water. So
I have mine, but yes, water is important. Drink your water for your inside and outside health.
Excuse me. Thank you so much. I really needed that water. But welcome. Can you believe it? This is the 5th Tuesday of March. First of all, let's just start there. Not only is it the 5th Tuesday of March, but it is the end of March. So let's just go there. Shout out to everybody who is watching live on Power Plug Radio YouTube. Shout out to everybody who downloaded the app and love to listen to the mixes on Power Plug Radio Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And thank you again to everyone who is listening live. Goodbye, March. That's where we're at right now. It is goodbye, March. Can you believe it?
Oh my goodness, of 2022.
Of 2022. What has your March been like?
My March has been marching, okay?
Her March has been marching. I like it.
Oh my goodness. Everything has been happening. Everything and nothing. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, really great things, growth in great areas, breakthroughs in personal areas. It's just been everywhere for me, but all good.
That's awesome. That's an okay place to be. Like, we're at the end of the first quarter of the year. And so 2022, as you said, is marching along. This has been National Nutrition Month. So all month long, we've been talking to you about nutrition, gut habits. Not only that, it's been Women's History Month. So some of the topics that we talked about this month, we started the month off with fad diets and food addictions.
Yes.
Very, very important. I told you all about the wonderful diets that I tried. Remember the cabbage soup? I kind of, dropped a little breadcrumbs there. So if you would like, you can go back and watch that or listen to that on Spotify. And so it's fad diets and food addictions. We talked about women's health. We had the Women of Wellness here. We had Lola Benet and we had Iyara Yummy.
Yes, we did.
We had some smoothies. We talked a lot about women's health and hormones and hormonal changes and plants. We talked a lot about plants, which is awesome. Which, by the way, we talked about plants, and I want to say it was like that weekend or the weekend after that, I ended up at this plant parent meetup. So shout out to outdoor African Outdoor Afro. Thank you. Thank you.
Hillary, right?
Yes. Thank you. Outdoor Afro and Hillary Van Dyke. Thank you. So yeah, we talked about plants, and I ended up at a plant parent meetup, which was great. I learned a lot about plants, and I think I'm getting just one step closer to my little herb garden that I want. One step closer, meaning like I've actually found someone who can help me do it, and I'm now like reignited about doing it. So I'm going to get there. Before the end of the year, I'm going to have an herb garden. Just watch out now. So that was great. So we talked about women's health. Also, champagne and things happened this month. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Bird Cares. That was an awesome fair. I think that was a great time to just talk for women to collectively just gather and have a great time. So that was great. We talked about plant-based eating.
Yes, we did. A lot
and wonderful benefits and reasons to go plant-based for your heart, for your immune system, for
your bowels, for your
bowels, for everything.
Yeah.
For everything. It was a great conversation. And last week we had Melissa Rowland.
Yes.
Nurse Melissa. And we talked about gut health. That was a good conversation.
That was a fun one too.
That was a great conversation, and just really talking about being in control of what goes in your mouth and how that can affect you. And so we're going to close out this month with talking about some transformational meals and talking a little bit about how we can make your meals a little bit healthier, make them work for you. I will say that, closing out this month, March was really exciting. When I hear the word March, I felt like we marched through this month. Like this month went by very quickly. I'm very excited about how the month ended. I'm very thankful to have been the selected host for Champagne and Things. So I was very excited about
congratulations.
that. I was also very excited that I was able to serve as the ambassador of the week for the Healthier Together St. Pete, Healthy St. Pete, Healthier Together campaign.
That is amazing.
And a lot of words. But yeah, so that was a great experience as well. It was really nice being able to connect with people through social media that asked questions or enjoyed and actually tried out some of the recipes that I put out. So thank you to everyone that engaged with me. Thank you again to the Healthy St. Pete campaign and the ambassadorship. So I appreciated that. That was great. And so let's just jump into the nurse's station, because why waste time, right? Let's just talk about these transformational meals. As always, the nurse's station. Well, I say as always, but not as always. If you would like a chance to sponsor My Better Living, all you have to do is go to www.powerplugradio.com. And if the website is not updated, we're going to make sure that it is updated so that you too and your organization can sponsor an episode of the Nurses Station right here on Power Plug Radio. And thank you guys again. So this week it is sponsored by the Bird Cares, because they love this show. They support this show. And so this week, sponsored by the Bird Cares nonprofit organization. Dealing with the challenges of today requires problem solvers who bring different perspectives and are willing to take risks. The Bird Cares emerged out of a pursuit to inspire and support the community and a desire for action to speak louder than words. Established in 2017, they're an organization driven by progressive ideas, bold action, and a strong foundation of support. The Bird Cares is dedicated to improving health outcomes in high-risk communities, one message and event at a time. Their mission is to inspire health and behavioral changes among families and communities through health promotion, target marketing, and education. Let the Bird Cares take your health message from idea to reality. The Bird Cares was the organization behind Champagne and Things. Awesome event again. So let's just jump into this. So this week we are talking about transforming your meal. So if you are watching live, feel free to drop a meal or two that you're like, look, this is my favorite meal and I need help with this meal. So let's just talk about this for a minute. Everybody has different health and wellness goals.
Yes.
Some people want to lose weight. And I think at the basis of losing weight, the name of the game is to, I'm not going to say eat less calories than you burn, because I don't want the emphasis to be on the eating part. but it's to burn more calories than you take in.
Yes, absolutely.
So that the emphasis is on burning calories.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Does it mean that, basically you can eat what you want as long as you burn it off? Well, I guess so, but, eating certain things that are just not good for your body because of either high fat content, high sugar content, high red dye or whatever content, or just, highly processed, regardless of whether or not you burn it off. Just some foods, long-term consumption of them are just not really good for the body.
Right.
And it's not really good for your enzymes, especially as you get older. So while, you could just eat what you want as long as you burn it off, but as you get older, that really doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the name of the game is to still burn more than you consume, but let the things that you consume be good for your body.
Absolutely. Your body is going to rebuild and repair from those things. So it does. If you are giving it junk food to always repair, you are going to literally look and feel like, you know what I mean? But versus the other way around.
Right. 100% agree. So, when we talk about foods, everybody, I promote plant-based eating. And we talked about this, and we talked about, just on a spectrum that people who eat plant-based can fall on the spectrum, depending on what they actually eat, what they don't eat. Like vegetarians are still considered some form of plant-based because they don't eat meat, but they still will take in dairy and eggs. So, but they're still within that spectrum. You have some people that are not as strict as being a vegan, where they don't consume any dairy, or maybe they do sparingly, but they just eat more whole plant-based foods, and they eliminate meat products. Some people just still eat fish. We talked about that. People still eating fish. So wherever it is that you want to be on that spectrum or not on that spectrum, I think the name of the game is, if you would like to lose weight, or even if you just want to be in a healthier condition. Maybe you're like, I like the size that I am. I just want to feel better inside. I think that looking at making meals healthier can work. So regardless of what it is that you're trying to do, just, in general, because every day isn't your birthday, and every day isn't Christmas, and every day isn't Thanksgiving.
Thank goodness,
right? But you can enjoy those times if you choose to. But in between time, you can't, just run around enjoying yourself like that all the time, because it's those everyday use that builds up to just really bad habits.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that when you do eat meals, to really choose healthier options. So let's talk a little bit about some healthy options, or why it's important to eat healthier options. I mean, you're pretty health conscious, and you're pretty much in tune. What are some things that you have done or do to make your meals healthier?
Adding something like avocado. If you are someone that still eats eggs, I eat just egg, which I really like. I mean, it's based on the taste, but anyway, maybe adding greens to your scramble, just little things like that. Literally, little things like that. Squeezing a lime over my food, because lime helps your body absorb nutrients better. So small things like doing like little things, adding little things.
Definitely. She talked a little bit about the egg substitute. So, who doesn't like a nice egg? And I agree with you. I think that, you mentioned just eggs, which is a egg substitute. There is also, I think, what would be a nice egg substitute. And for those of you who may have had this, know that I think ackee. They call it Jamaican ackee, but ackee can also be found in other islands. But ackee is a fruit, And basically it tastes whatever you cook it with. Now normally, they'll cook it with ackee and saltfish, which is like a salty codfish. But ackee by itself can make a nice scrambled egg.
Huh. I'm gonna try it.
You just season it up. However, you can make like a little scrambled egg, like a scrambled, throw some peppers in there, almost like an omelet, but like a scramble. So that's a great alternative
just
for that's a great alternative for scrambled eggs. We have someone who watching, actually Space Jam, how you doing? And they say instead of ketchup, I'll add a tomato slice. Excellent idea. So imagine the ackee. Imagine the ackee with a slice of tomatoes and a slice of avocado. With a little bit of salt and pepper on your tomato and your avocado. Yeah, so that's a nice meal to try.
Yes.
Honestly and truthfully, that's a very island meal. If I was in St. Lucia, that's very much a meal that you would eat for. Yeah. It wouldn't be ackee though; it'd actually be eggs. But
where can we buy?
Well, we're gonna find out. So we're gonna Google this thing, and we're gonna find out where here we can buy some fresh ackee, or I don't know if there's ackee in the can, but I would rather it fresh.
You said it's an island.
It's a island fruit, but it's not really eaten as like a fruit. It's eaten as more like a.
Well, we have a few Jamaican places around here. I think they may have it. I mean,
I think we need to look and see. We're gonna do our research, and we're gonna get back to y'all on that. Yeah. We're going to get back to y'all. But that is a very island meal. So you could have used the just eggs. If that's easier for you to get just eggs, you can add some peppers in there, kind of like a scramble. Slice you some tomato. Slice you some avocado. And if you wanted to, you can eat like, a slice of toast with it. That's pretty healthy.
Oh goodness, that would be really good. But thank you for
that.
Add
some fruit if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm always looking to do whole foods instead of substitutes.
Yeah,
but I hadn't found one that was. Yeah, because I didn't want to do tofu because of the soy.
That's the other thing. So you could. Some people have tried and do use tofu as a scramble, the soft tofu as like a egg scramble. I myself am trying to stay away from the soy because it kind of acts like gluten in my body, and I just want to avoid all of it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that, the name of the game is, what people don't realize is when you're eating plant-based foods, you're eating calories that are less dense. And so you can actually enjoy maybe more of it. You could eat a room full of spinach compared to just a 6 ounce or 4 ounce piece of steak, in terms of volume of food that is healthy or questionably healthy, in your body. But just over time, eating like that, it's just got to be better for you.
Yeah, of course it is.
So, finding ways to lower the calories, I think that's if you're trying to lose weight, finding ways to lower your calories of the food. That way you also don't feel deprived. Another substitute, so we talked a little bit about ackee. Another substitute as meat that can be used is jackfruit. So people sleep on jackfruit. Jackfruit, some people, they'll take it like, I don't really like it. Jackfruit really doesn't really have its own harsh taste. It really does take on the flavors of whatever it's cooked with. And I've seen that people have made jackfruit and used it as a substitute for shredded chicken, shredded pork.
Yes, I've made a mean pulled pork sandwich from jackfruit. And
you heard that?
You just got to cook it hard. For me, that's my texture. Like a lot of people don't cook it hard enough or don't know how to cook it to where it's of their liking.
Right.
Because it really does take on whatever you season it with. And the texture of it is just like meat. So, I mean, you can make roast beef, pot roast with jackfruit. Like, yeah. It's just in how you cook it.
It really is. And so that's really important that you said it's just in how you cook it and to your liking. You know, a lot of what we enjoy about food is the spots that they hit in our mouth, the texture and how they feel in our mouth, and just the overall flavor of whatever it is. We want good things going in our mouth. And I think that if somebody is thinking about transitioning over to plant-based eating, there's many ways that you can find that. You can find that texture, you can find that flavor, and you can find, you know, and just a little bit of work up front to, you know, be able to find and search and try things out and be willing to fail at it, and be willing to try things out. Another great a great steak or beef substitute is mushrooms. And there's so many types of mushrooms that can be used.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So many different types. So a good portobello is a nice, you know, T-bone. You can really turn that thing in, you know, with the right flavors and the right seasoning. You can really turn and cook the right way. You can really turn that bad boy into some great steak, some nice fajitas. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I had that right before I came on the air. Was basically some sliced portobellos. I made like fajitas. I added some black beans to it. I like the veggie slaw. I don't like just regular lettuce. I like the veggie slaw because it's a little bit more crunchy. It has the cabbage and some jalapenos, some fresh salsa, guac.
That sounds.
And I found this wrap that's gluten free because y'all know I'm trying to be really good with the gluten. And it was quite delicious. So mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh, king oyster mushrooms will make a good
how do you use your king
chicken.
Okay, you heard that.
Yes, because the mushroom, they'll tell you, okay, take the cap off, and if you do your fork like straight down on the mushroom, it takes on the striation of chicken. You can literally even shape it.
So how do you cook that?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you get the mushrooms. You of course shred them how you want, like on a certain part.
It's king mushrooms.
Yes, king oyster mushrooms. Okay, and then like you leave one part not shredded, then shred the bottom part. That's gonna be like the drumstick.
Okay.
Right? So then you season it. If you're you can also season your batter. If you can do a wet batter.
Okay.
And fry them. And those are your fried chicken because it takes on the texture. It takes on the flavor of what you season it with. It has like that bland taste that chicken has with no seasoning.
Right.
And
there you have it.
It's juicy.
There you have it. There you have it. That's awesome. Trumpet mushrooms are another one that's a great substitute for chicken. I will tell you, oyster mushrooms are really good for crab or seafood type substitute foods. So find you some oyster mushrooms and find you and this is the thing, we are in the age of information.
Yes,
there is a recipe out there. If you're like, you know what, I want to make crab cake out of mushrooms, make crab cake out of mushrooms.
Listen, Pinterest has become my best friend.
We're gonna make crab cake out of mushrooms. Okay,
the recipe is out there.
Absolutely. if that's your flavor, because guess what? In the pursuit of that, you know, you're finding the right flavors. I think it really kind of makes it mean something to you.
Yeah.
Substituting and then when you hit that right spot and then you look at it and you're like, am I eating
you look at it
a whole plant-based meal? You know, it's just like okay, I think I could do this. And it, you know, in the end, it kind of makes you feel good. You did something. Another substitute, and this is very popular because we're in the South and you got to have a good macaroni and cheese.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
So a great substitute for the cheese cashews. So there's some great recipes out there where you soak the whole cashews. You kind of, I think you use a food processor once they're nice and soft to kind of almost take them down into like a milky kind of substance, like you would make a cashew milk. But you leave kind of like the chunky parts of it, and then add some nutritional yeast. And there's probably some other things that you can, add to season it up. There's some great recipes out there. You can go check them out for yourself. But you can make yourself a really nice cheese sauce, and you find you some pasta of your liking. For me, I'd probably find some gluten-free pasta, or I can probably substitute that and maybe see if I can use some veggie spirals or whatever.
Yeah, zucchini and zucchini spaghetti.
And make yourself some,
You had spaghetti squash before?
Yes, I have.
I love spaghetti squash.
Yes, I have. So where there's a will, there's a way, and there's always a way to turn a meal into something healthy.
Yes.
Do you have any other favorite meals that you've sort of wrapped around and made healthy?
I just kind of really flipped. You just find substitutes for the stuff. So maybe like a baked spaghetti, a Tuscan, you know how they have the Tuscan chicken or with the creamy Parmesan sauce, the spinach in it, the sun-dried tomatoes. I've done that with portobello mushrooms before. Like I said, the pulled pork using jackfruit, pot roast using jackfruit. Among many other things. I can't list them like that. But there are some foods that are good for the inside of your body, but also for the outside of your body.
Okay, so tell me about those.
Because you mentioned making foods work for you, right? So lemons, right? You cut your lemon water up, so you're drinking your lemon water for your internal benefits, and then you can actually use the peel and rub it on your face. The acid from it brightens your skin, and it helps break down the hyperpigmentation in the skin.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you just, rinse it off with your regular face routine. So that's one thing. Of course, sea moss.
I love a good sea moss. I love good sea moss.
You eat your sea moss for your 92 of the 102 minerals that your body needs. And you listen, sea moss makes a mean face mask, y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just do it. Try 7 days, once a week, doing your sea moss mask, and you will see you glow. Your face is super moisturized, and it's antibacterial and stuff like that. So it helps with acne-prone skin.
That's good to know.
Honey as well.
Honey, yes,
right?
Honey's very good as like almost like a antibacterial.
Yes,
it's great.
A mask for hydration is if you don't have chapstick. I mean, why would you have honey but no chapstick? But anyway, you can use honey on the lips instead of chapstick.
You can use it in your hair.
Yes,
as a mask.
Yes, and burns, rug burns, and stuff like that because of its antibacterial properties.
Absolutely.
For that, and I think the last thing, charcoal, right? So charcoal internally, some people, we take for detoxing. Now, charcoal works so well that your doctors will usually tell you, don't take it with your medication. Don't take it with some of your other vitamins because it'll literally flush them out. So how the charcoal works is charcoal is a magnet for toxins, and charcoal can't bind to your body at all. So it passes through, and the toxins link onto it, so the toxins leave too, right? But then what does charcoal also do? Whiten the teeth.
Ooh.
Right? Brushing, when you see the charcoal toothpaste, you see the charcoal toothbrushes. So that's another thing that's internal as well as external.
Those are some great things. Great. Honestly and truthfully, one of the things that I love talking about and everybody knows is plant-based eating. But I think it's kind of fun to just find different recipes. I'm looking at one now, air fryer zucchini chips. If you like to satisfy a craving, and we talked about this before about, really, this is where it's important to really just spend time with yourself really understanding, your eating habits. If you're somebody and you're like, you know what, I really like to sit and watch a good movie and eat a snack. I like to snack on chips. Maybe air frying some zucchini chips might be what you need to do. You can also get some eggplant and air fry those.
Let's say apple chips.
Apples.
Oh.
Yeah, you can make those, slice some apples. Whatever it is that you want, something savory. Maybe you're somebody and you're like, you know what? I am, from a culture or a part of, the world where this is what we eat. This is what we do. And, even still, I think even with that, there's ways that you can, work around that. So in my family, we have fish cakes, which I think every Black culture, especially in the South and beyond, have some form of fish patty. There's conch fritters, there's
salmon
croquettes. There's some form of fish fried in some batter, But my mom found a way to do it without the fish. And it still has the flavor. It just really is filled with really crunchy vegetables instead for me. And so that's what I'm saying. No matter what it is, whatever your culture is, whatever it is that you're used to eating, there's other ways that you can find to not really deprive yourself of that food.
Yes.
But to find a healthier way for you to enjoy that same meal.
Absolutely.
And, find other ways that you can enjoy things, even desserts. There's healthy desserts that you can make. There's healthier ways that you can make, your favorite recipe. Because there's even using a different type of flour, even using a different type of sweetener. Those are the key things. Something that isn't going to spike your blood sugars all of a sudden, white sugars. Maybe opting for something like honey.
They have coconut
or agave.
And it has a little coconut taste to it, but it's still sweet. It does what you need it to do for dessert. So there's options. There are options,
definitely options. Even if you're baking something, meatloaf. Maybe your family is a hearty eating family. You like a good meatloaf. Okay, there's ways that you can make meatless loaf. Using beans as the base for the meat. And even if you wanted to, instead of using eggs to bind it, you can use okra. Okra's pretty. You have to find little ways. Okra has that kind of consistency of egg where you can probably bind whatever it is that you normally make.
Yes. Chia seed is an egg substitute.
Chia seed is a great, is another egg substitute. So there's ways that you can, enjoy still enjoy and less calories, not feeling like you're depriving yourself. And then feeling a little bit more motivated to burn it off. When it's time to burn it off.
Because that time does come every now and again.
Yes. Some great options here. Let me see. Another great sort of recipe, if you like peanuts, you can take some. It doesn't have the same peanutty taste, but you can make it taste like whatever you want it to taste like. But you can take some chickpeas, put them on a pan, season them with whatever it is you want to season them. Put them in the oven, let them dry out. They're great little snacks. They, have some protein in them, and great little snacks. You can just put them in a little baggie and take them with you.
Yum. Even baking your strawberries.
Baking your
slice them. Yeah. Yeah, like
Okay,
slice
okay.
them
You got to
very
explain
thin.
this to me.
Yes. Okay. Well, you slice your strawberries very thin, and I can't remember the exact setting, but you cook them on a low setting for about an hour, hour and a half, and they come out like strawberry fruit roll up. Like it has that flavor to them.
Wow.
And texture, like
Wow.
they're gummy, like chewy, and very saturated. I don't know the word, but it's more. It has the texture of a fruit roll up.
Wow. So what do you do with that? You just eat it as is?
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
That sounds like a great like snack.
Yes. Delicious.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally, I've seen people use mushrooms to make oxtail. I don't know what kind of voodoo, but I'm gonna start trying these recipes. You know, I try the ones that are convenient and quick.
Yes.
But I'm always looking at other ones. Like, I've been looking at this oxtail mushroom recipe for a while now, and I just need to sit down and get the ingredients and make it. Yeah. But I think that's what I want to start doing. I need to really start making these recipes to really show you guys that, so this is my thing. I have a couple that I like and I enjoy, and I just do that real quick. When all else fails and I can't figure out sometimes what to eat, I eat some cereal. I'm not gonna lie. Or I eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I call it a day, and I go to bed. I've done that many a nights. But I must try these meals. Try these meals. Collard greens, a Thanksgiving favorite. And, people will go back and forth about what type of meat you're supposed to cook your greens with. Are you supposed to cook your greens with smoked turkey? Are you supposed to cook it with smoked pork or whatever? I don't know.
Yep.
You can bake. However, you can make meatless greens that taste just as good. And collard greens are great. And you can make kale. You can greens are great. You can never go wrong with a leafy green.
No.
So we're not going to give collard greens a bad rap.
No.
Because collard greens are great for you.
They really are. They're a plant. They're
very leafy green. Wonderfully leafy green. And so just finding ways to eat your collard greens. Preferably without meat, maybe.
It's all
or
in the
a healthier meat.
It's all in
it really
the
is.
Seasoning.
It really is.
That's it.
And so there's some great recipes out there. I'm like sort of perfecting one that I kind of got going. So I've made it about twice now. I had a friend that was always, shout out to Miss Bridget. I had a friend that always made it for me, and one time she attempted to show me, I couldn't remember. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to get in there. And for somebody who likes to eat, I sure don't have a whole lot of patience for trying new things in the kitchen. This is going to change. We're entering the second quarter. There's still hope for me. Oh, my goodness. There's still time for me. We're entering the second quarter of the month.
Yes, we are.
So there's still time for me. But I started making it, and I've made it twice now. And I think I've kind of, I think I might have did a little something.
Would you share it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So,
but you own to something.
I'm on to something.
Okay. That's important.
It's pretty good because the pan gets cleared over the couple days. The pan it gets eaten. Nothing gets thrown away. But I feel like I can still kind of get it. So we're gonna work on that.
Okay.
The other thing is I like a good pancake. What about you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love pancakes. Crispy on the edges.
Love a good pancake. And so, I've been trying to think, well, how can I eat a healthier pancake? Because I like a good pancake and I don't want to, but do I really need all that dough and batter and egg and blah, 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 blah. So I found a recipe.
Okay.
I am going to share. That includes, it is made from mashed banana, some, I think whatever milk of your choice, your plant-based milk, a little bit of plant-based milk, some oats, whole
yes.
oats. Mixed up, add some fruits.
On
Like
top
some
of it,
berries.
after you-
No, mix the
Inside-
berries
in-
into it. And then you scoop. I want to say now I don't remember if they added a binder. I don't know if they added eggs to it or if they added something else as a binder. I need to go back and find this recipe.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up right now.
And
Banana
you
pancakes.
then scoop it out and you fry it the same way you would fry and they made like these cute little flapjacks.
Where do you go to find your recipes?
I go everywhere. I go on Pinterest.
Okay, so Pinterest.
I go to Google and I just put in what I want and I say I want a plant-based version of this. YouTube has some great places.
YouTube, and you get videos.
You get videos. Pinterest. I usually start with Pinterest because I like to look at food and I like to see how it looks.
I'm like, let me look at this recipe because this looks how I want mine to look.
I'm gonna share something with you guys. When I first went plant-based, you know what I know this is like weird. You know what I used to like to do?
What?
I used to like watching people cook meat. And I don't know why. Like I would like watching them like season a nice roast or barbecue. Like I don't know why. I would just sit and watch these videos of I know.
Odd.
just a little. But it did something for me. Like, I don't know if it
Banana oat pancakes.
So banana oat
I
pancakes.
found the recipe on Pinterest, y'all.
Yes. So you mash the potatoes.
This makes me so excited.
I'm so excited because now I feel like I can enjoy some pancakes without worrying about it messing up my stomach or just kind of being too much. You know, I can never eat a whole lot of pancakes.
Yeah.
You get one good one in and you be like, woo, that's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and those regular pancakes really aren't the best way to start your digestive system. The gluten, the flour, the yeast, it's just really not a good.
It's just tough, and so I haven't been able to enjoy a good pancake. I just found this over the weekend, and so I am going to try it.
Good looking out, and
I'm going to try it, and I'm gonna let you know how it goes. But I always feel like there's always a way that you can get the things that you want.
Where it's still very satisfying. It's not even more satisfying.
Absolutely. I realized that I was so wrong about what plant-based vegans eat. Now I know now that they do not eat air and grass. So, with that being said, there's just plenty of ways that you can find a way to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy and really transform your meals into whatever you want to transform them into. And I would say just do it one meal at a time, Start with a Sunday meal or start with, I'm pretty busy throughout the week. So I'm not going to lie, I'm not an everyday cooker. What I will say is that I'm the queen of packing a lunch. So for me, that's where a lot of my energy goes. And when it comes to prepared meals is making sure I have a lunch packed. Because in the evening I can just grab something, or I'm usually busy. I don't usually have I'm not an everyday cooker.
Yeah.
So when I do, I'd like to find some meals that I'm going to enjoy. That's not going to, take me down the beaten path. And
right.
there's always options and things. Is it still considered winter, technically? Or are we in spring?
No, we're in spring.
We're in spring. So we're still in spring. So you can still enjoy a nice soup, right? It hasn't gotten too hot for you not to enjoy a nice soup.
No, because it still gets pretty snippy at night.
I think crock pot meals are always pretty awesome. You can throw so many wonderful ingredients into a crock pot meal. I'm going to tell you a meal that I made for some of my coworkers that I thought turned out pretty great. So, I told you about the sliced portobellos that I made, and I made like some fajitas. Well, I made some other tacos with. So instead of the ground beef, I got the crumbles, the plant-based crumbles. So they're like a meat alternative crumbles. Yeah. I don't remember what brand it was. Got a couple cans of beans, threw that in there, threw some taco seasoning in there, put it in a crock pot. I think I put some mushrooms, some onions.
Oh, that sounds good.
I forget what kind of cans of beans. And then I put some, they have these seasoning, these sauce packets that typically you're supposed to use it with, beef or chicken when you're making fajitas or whatever. And it has a really nice flavor. So I just put it in there. Hey, if it's going to make the beef taste good, why wouldn't it make my mushrooms and faux beef taste good? And that became the base. You let that sit in a crock pot for a couple hours, and that became the base. That's the innards of a great taco.
Okay.
Throw some lettuce or whatever it is. I personally like the veggie slaw.
Yes.
I'm really trying to find a place that has, I think I might just make them myself. I think I saw a recipe to make pickled onions. I want some pickled onions. I want some pickled onions for my tacos.
How long do they take? Okay, so
I don't know.
Okay.
It has to be some kind of fermenting process, right?
Yeah, it has to sit for a little while. It does.
What's
like the
a little
pickling
while?
process. Okay, so
Like a
listen,
week or
I was
two?
watching a video on pickles.
Okay.
On how long it takes. You gotta let them sit for
Okay.
6 months.
Pickles?
Up to 6 months for pickles. and
So
vinegar.
cucumbers have to sit for 6 months.
Ma'am.
So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
make the brine. You make the brine that it sits in.
I'm trying. I
Or does it
cannot remember.
create that on its own?
They added some seasonings, onions, and everything in there with it. They did add vinegar and some garlic cloves or something like that for the garlic pickles. But it takes a while to pickle stuff.
Wow. So you think it'll take like 6 months to pickle some onions?
I don't for an onion, because cucumbers are way more dense.
Yeah,
So
that's
it takes
true.
a little longer. But the onion, onions literally soak up, whatever they're in. So that might.
So I'd like to venture out and make some pickled onions. And if you haven't tried a good pickled onion on your taco, let me tell you, you are
pickle
missing
anything.
out.
Pickle everything.
So we're gonna figure that out. I'm telling you, the internet is a wealth of knowledge and information. There's no reason why you should, not have an option, unless it's just not available, readily available. And even, the food pantries now are doing really good at giving out some really good things. Now if you have some bananas that are getting really ripe, you don't want to eat them, mash them up, make some pancakes.
Yes.
Mash them up, make some pancakes.
Anything.
Yeah.
I love that they're doing that more in the schools. They're giving out more healthy food.
Yeah.
Like making sure there's fruit. Now, I'm just going to say, I still despise the fact that they give them milk. Like, who regularly drinks milk with their actual food?
Nobody.
Like with a rib sandwich. Who's going to have a
Nobody.
cup of milk with a rib sandwich? Or with, so it's like, why are you guys?
I never understood that.
Well, to build strong bones, but that myth has already been uncovered. I'm not the first person to say that is not true, but it does not build strong bones. In fact, it does the opposite. And this is on the books. This is science. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word.
Absolutely. I just ran across this post on the internet, and I remember when I first became plant-based, I used to eat the heck out of these beans and their lentils. I was like queen. Like lentils was the thing for everything. Mm-hmm. Like I made lentils spaghetti. Like I mean lentils. Really? Listen, I don't know why me and lentils was just we were going a lot of places.
It was your first plant-based love.
It was my first plant-based love.
Yeah. So
me and lentils. So me and lentils, we got to make a comeback because right now I'm looking at this lentil. What is this called? This is called a vegan sloppy lentil joe.
Have you ever tried walnut meat before?
What is walnut meat?
Oh my gosh. So the first time I ever had walnut meat was when I had plant-based tacos in the lettuce wrap.
What is walnut meat?
They soak the walnuts and then they crush them up and they come out just like ground meat.
Really?
Yes, it's a thing. Walnut meat.
How did it taste? Was it crunchy?
Yes, it was very crunchy. The one I had was cold, but you can have it warm.
Okay.
Too, but I would definitely try it again.
Oh.
It had a very great taste.
Did they use it more like a sprinkle, or was it like the base of the taco?
No, it was the base. It was the meat of the taco.
Was it seasoned the kind of way? What did it taste like? I'm just asking so many questions because
it seasons based on who seasons it.
Okay.
So mine could have been seasoned better.
Okay.
But when I made my own, it was fine. So it's all about how you season it.
So you had a little heat in there?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I wanted a hot taco this time.
Okay.
And it was still very, very good.
Listen, so walnut meat.
Walnut meat. Look it up.
I'm telling you. So yeah, this is a vegan sloppy joe made with lentils. I'm telling you, like if you've never had curry lentils, you sleeping. You sleeping. You sleeping. I'm telling you, me and lentils, we had a love affair for a very long time, and now I'm looking at this lentil sloppy joe, and I think we're about to fall back in love.
Well, try it out and let
I'm
me
just
know.
saying.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I got a couple things I got to try out. I'm just kind of scrolling through and looking at some of these recipes. Vegan banana pudding. Now of course these are things that if you're really in the mood for a special occasion, but the same rules apply. You can't eat these things every single day. However, you can find ways to eat things that you enjoy without it costing you so much to your body. I had to find ways to work around gluten. There's ways that you can make your own chips, and there's ways that you can make your own sauces. If you like a good tartar sauce, I'm pretty sure there's a recipe out there for how you can making dill and capers and those kind of things. So absolutely
I don't know if you know about Good Life Food Truck here in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Tell us about that.
It's a vegan food truck, and he has this chicken parmesan sandwich that will knock your socks off. Okay, and it's 100% vegan. All of his ingredients are vegan. He has a club sandwich that's made. He has his vegan chicken patty made out of lion's mane mushroom.
Listen, I told y'all about the lion mane that I had. It was so good.
He even found a delicious bacon.
Wow.
That is vegan as well. So Good Life Food Truck in St. Pete, Florida. They do a lot of the food truck rallies. Like, they are delicious.
That's what's up.
And make their own. That's what made me think of them. They have tartar sauce as one of their things. And
they make their own. We're going to start cooking, y'all. We're going to start cooking.
Cooking is cheaper.
It is.
And you're going to like it because we're
going to start cooking some meals. That's what we're going to do. All right, y'all. I've enjoyed this episode. Talking about plant-based eating is one of my favorite things to do. But I also think it's important to just talk about better eating in general. Whether or not you are fully plant-based, whether or not you are semi-plant-based, you have to let anybody put a label on you as to what, you are, what defines how you eat. But I do think that every day we have a choice to put better foods into our body, put more fruits, vegetables, whole foods into our body. If today you woke up and you said, what, I feel like eating this, and the next time you put something in your mouth, you say, okay, I feel like eating that, and doing better than you did the first time, it's okay. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself. This month, I think, just really talking about some of the struggles, with the fad dieting and the gut health, and so I just want to leave March and hope that everybody was able to receive some good information about how to take care of your gut, your digestive system, eating good foods, especially if you're a woman. we have a lot of different hormones on board. So just making sure that we take care of ourselves in that way and listen to our bodies. It's so important. I think that we as women, we ignore our bodies a lot because we have so much that we want to do.
Yeah.
So much that we have to do
Other
and so much
things
that we
to
want to
do.
do. So I think that it's really important for us to just march forward in a healthier eating, with a healthier eating life. Next month we're gonna talk a little bit more about some self-care and self-healing. So make sure you check out the episodes. We won't be here for next Tuesday, but we will be back on Tuesday. I believe it is the 12th, I think, maybe. Yes. So we will see you guys then. Thank you so much, Letitia, for another awesome show. Very, very excited. And, make sure you guys go back and check out some of the older episodes that we had from this month if you really want to, get some nutritional information. So we will see you next month. And make sure that you follow Nurse Shar on the socials, Nurse Shar RN, or you can find My Better Living. Goodbye.
See ya.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
My Better Living. Spend some time with Nurse Shar for honest and healing conversation about the benefits, challenges, and real-life struggles of living healthy, well, fit, and free. Real discussion for real people who want real change. My Better Living. This podcast is being broadcast on Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams. You can download Power Plug Radio app on Google Play or the Apple iStore. Don't forget to subscribe to the Power Plug Radio YouTube, where you can catch My Better Living live every Tuesday night. And visit www.powerplugradio.com to find out how you can sponsor the...
You're listening to Power Plug Radio.